What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down the average height and weight of Division I quarterbacks. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it could teach you a few new things, but also, fellas, if you are a QB and you want to learn how to read defenses, how you can get better at identifying coverages, check out that very first link in the description below. You can get access to 500 plus videos just like this one where we break down defensive coverages, what to look for, the best plays to work against that specific coverage, and we organize everything into specific playlists for you guys to watch and make it a little bit easier. So if you're interested in that, fellas, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that. Let's get started. So how this video is going to work out is we're going to be showing some different college rosters, Division I college rosters, going over the quarterback room, what their height is, what their weight is, and then we're going to show some game film examples of shorter quarterbacks being successful, what you can do if you're on the smaller side of things, and honestly just how you can improve your skills. So I hope this video helps. So first thing we're going to be looking at here is the Alabama's quarterback room. So everybody always loves to throw the stigma about the quarterback position. You got to be tall. You have to be able to see over the line. You have to have these certain attributes. And yes, that all helps. Trust me, it will help your cause if you are 6'2", 6'2", 6'1" plus, because life is just a lot easier when you're taller. That's just 100% fact. Some of you have met me, came to our camps, trained with me in person, whatever it is. You guys know that I'm not a very big guy. But I had a lot of success playing the quarterback position because you play the game differently as a short guy. So by no means do you have to be a certain height. It just helps you turn some heads. It helps you pass the eye test, right? So now let's talk about the weight, right? And the weight is not something that matters a whole lot. And we're going to get into that as this video plays out, but you see. So this quarterback room is probably average height 6'2". 6'1", 6'2", 195, 212, 200, 205. And again, here's the other thing too. Everybody lies about this, fellas. So you can't always believe what you see, and college coaches know that. So this is Alabama's quarterback room. Now let's take a look at USC's quarterback room. They got a few more quarterbacks than these guys, but look at this. 6'3", 6'2", 6'2", 6 foot. The shortest guy is 5'10", and he's probably a walk-on. Most likely is. I think this is his number 31, so most likely a walk-on. And then we have 6'1", 215. Now look at this here. Caleb Williams. Probably going to win the Heisman this year. Probably going to be drafted number 1 overall. He's 6'1". That's probably a lie. He's probably 6 foot on the dot, 215 pounds, right? So again, size is not the most important thing. The only thing it helps with is turning some heads. So if you're at a college camp, let's say, for example, and you're 6'5", 225, you can rip the ball, a college coach is probably going to look your way because you passed them, you fit the eye test. There's something called an eye test, obviously. But at the end of the day, if you suck, you suck. It does not matter how tall you are. The best guy is going to play. If there are two quarterbacks and it's a setting and it's a position battle, one's 6'5", one's 5'10", and they both, same type of leader, same type of guy off the field, same mental attitude, but the 6'5" guy sucks and cannot complete a pass, they will go with the 5'10" guy, 100% fact. The 6'5" guy might get priority at first because he looks the part and everybody wants the big, tall quarterback, but that doesn't mean that he wins the job outright. So that's what I want to explain to you guys. Now, if you're listening to this and you're on the shorter side of things, maybe you're below 6 foot, maybe you're 5'9", maybe you're 5'10". In the days of Bryce Young going number 1 overall, Kyler Murray going number 1 overall, it can be done. And you guys have to understand that you just have to find a different way to play the position than the 6'3" guy, than the 6'2" guy, because they have a different way of playing as well. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So this first example here is going to be from Kyler Murray. So I can't stand the criticism of guys who are playing in college football at the highest possible level of college football. When you look at guys like Kyler Murray playing at Oklahoma, you look at guys like Bryce Young playing at Alabama, they've been that short their entire life. And for them to be able to get to Alabama and get to Oklahoma shows that they can play behind some probably very big offensive linemen. Because that's everybody's biggest worry. Oh, is he going to be able to see over the line? That's not even how short quarterbacks play the game, fellas. I was a short quarterback. I never once looked over the line. Not a single time. And guess what? You're never going to be able to if you're a short guy. You play the Windows game. So you see this throw from Kyler Murray. He's throwing a deep fade downfield. Everybody, every armchair quarterback, every talking head is like, oh, he won't be able to see downfield because he's so short. He's 5'9", he's 5'10". These linemen are 6'5". That's not how you play the game, fellas. There's something called pass protection. And in pass protection, there are windows for the quarterback to sit through. So you see how Kyler Murray just sits in this window. He could see everything from that window and delivers a shot downfield. Guys, that's all it takes when you're a short quarterback from the pocket. Now, are there other things that you need to have to your game? Yes, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. But you have to understand we don't play the game like everybody else. We play the game sitting through windows. If he was 6'5", he could probably have his left guard right here, and he could probably see over him. But honestly, even the tall guys play through windows anyways. It's not about seeing over people at the QB position. You're looking through windows, you're identifying read keys, seeing over people has nothing to do with it. Now, is it going to help you to be 6'5"? Absolutely. Is it a necessity? I personally don't think it is. The only thing height and weight does is it helps you get in the room. It helps guys notice you. Like you're let's say a college coach comes to a spring workout of yours. He's probably going to notice you if you're 6'5". You pass the eye test. Great. But if you suck, you suck. At the end of the day, that's number one what matters. And they're not going to care. They're not recruiting a basketball team, you guys. They're recruiting the best football team possible, and they want the best quarterback on the field possible, okay? So just know that. If you're a short quarterback, you have to get comfortable playing through windows. Now, that brings me to my next example here. So this is easy for us to say, right? Because Kyler Murray's an NFL quarterback. Very, very talented quarterback, regardless of your opinion on him or not, right? If you're not performing in the NFL and you're like the 20th best QB, you're still the 20th best in the world. So he's very talented. So let's take a look at this clip here. This is Bryce Young when he was in high school. So something to know about these two high schools here. This is St. John Bosco and Mater Dei. If you're in California, you obviously know who these teams are. If you're not, no big deal. I'm sure some of you have probably even heard of them not being in California. Probably the highest level of high school football that you could get at. Private schools, ton of money. Every single player on this field probably doesn't pay tuition and was probably recruited. And some people are recruited from out of state to go to these schools. Cream of the crop, the best you got. So Bryce Young had the most success at that school possible. One of the most efficient passers. He had an insane completion percentage. That's all anybody ever talked about. But the way he plays the game is different than the guy, the 6'5" kid, the 6'4" kid. And you got to have some mobility if you're going to be on the smaller side of things. So you watch him here. He's sitting in the pocket, throwing windows closed. He's able to get out of the pocket, extend the play, throw on the run. So guys, if you're on the shorter side of things, you have to make these types of plays. I'm telling you this right now. If you're short and you're slow, probably not going to be the best selling point for you, right? You better have a cannon of an arm. You better be very smart. You better not miss when you throw the ball. But if you're on the shorter side of things, you can make up for that with mobility. Now, I'm not talking about you got to run a 4.4 40. You got to be like Lamar Jackson and run around people and make people miss, because that's not how Bryce Young plays either. But Bryce Young is very, very efficient with the way he moves. He knows when to get out of trouble. He knows how to extend the play. He knows how to move in the pocket, step up in the pocket, create throwing windows for himself with his feet. That is what they're going to be looking for. Because at the end of the day, fellas, these types of plays are what gets you recruited. The college coach needs to see you play. He needs to see you play with pads on. He needs to see what you can do. Because I guarantee you, if nobody knew who he was and he went out to one of these big, huge college camps, people would probably not even look at him because, he definitely probably has a strong arm. He's definitely very accurate, but he doesn't pass the eye test. It's hard to stand out like that. You have to be so freaking talented. So what speaks for itself, though, is the film. You making plays like this, you extending the play, getting the ball to your playmakers. That is what a college coach is going to want to see, and that is what you have to do as a short guy. Fact of the matter, you have to have your film speak for itself, and you have to be dominant because they're looking for any excuse to not have you play at the next level. So let's look at some film. This is some film of myself. Now, I normally don't show this type of stuff because I normally don't think that people care too much, but I wanted to show this because I wanted to show you things that were big selling points for my game getting recruited out of high school. And this was stuff that college coaches used to talk to me about that they liked because everybody knew I wasn't the biggest guy. That was the talk with everybody that came in, like, oh, he's a little undersized, doesn't weigh too much, but I was still able to get recruited. And it's because of these types of plays. So let's look at this first play here. This is the play that popped up probably 7 or 8 times on my film. Sit in the pocket, holding the ball, and I take a hit while I get thrown. Or I get hit while I throw this ball and while I let go of this ball. This is something that college coaches want to see from any type of quarterback. They want to see this from the 6'5" guy. Can you stand in there? Can you take shots? Can you deliver a ball downfield? And you see when I'm throwing this thing, I'm letting go of this before this receiver's even out of his break on a deep post while I'm taking a hit. That's anticipation. That's getting hit while I'm thrown. That's me standing in the pocket with a strong base. Like all of those things, fellas, stand out to a college coach. These are plays that they don't expect you to make. And these are the plays that will make you stand out when you're undersized. Now let's look at another play here. So this is a play that benefited my game a whole lot and will benefit you guys a whole ton if you're on the smaller side of things, because these are the plays you have to make. You have to be such a difference maker on the field if you're on the smaller side of things. But you see how I'm here? And again, this comes down to that mobility, right? Looking through throwing windows. You see, I'm going to play this back real quick. I drop back, look at this window. I'm looking through this window. I move in the pocket to get to this window. I'm creating throwing windows. Now, what do I do here? I pull the ball down and run, but these are the types of plays that have to stand out on film, fellas. Untouched, right? But again, and I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this to show you guys that these are the plays they look for, because I've lived it, I've done it, I've coached it. These are the plays that they want to see if you're on the undersized side of things. You have to extend the play. You have to be able to make all the throws. There should be no shred of doubt when they're recruiting you if you're on the shorter side of things, because they're looking for a reason. They got plenty of quarterbacks across the country that all fit the mold that are 6 foot plus. But if you can outperform them on the field, you can make bigger plays than them, and there's no doubt in their mind that you're the best quarterback that they're recruiting. They will take a chance on you. Trust me on that, okay, fellas? All right, so I appreciate you guys watching. I hope this helped out. I hope this shed some light on a lot of your concerns, maybe if you're on the shorter side of things. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below, fellas. We always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great to hear from you guys. And again, if you guys want to learn how to read defenses, how to diagnose coverages, check out that very first link in the description below, fellas. We'd love to get you on that. 500 plus videos, all based on how you can read defenses. So again, very first link in that description below. I'll see you guys next time.